I was too wild to feel any shame. It was true. I would not just uproot the world, but tear it, burn it, do any evil I could to keep Glaukos by my side. But what stayed most in my mind was the look on my grandmother's face. When I said the word pharmaca, it was not a look I knew well among the gods. It was fear. What could make a god afraid? I knew the answer to that. A power greater than their own. Hello, book club. Meg is here on another beautiful day in the library. We're in chapter 4 of Circe. What a cool chapter. At the end, I got goosebumps. I got so excited. I'll read a little bit at the end of that. Real quick, I put out a video this morning. One of my passions is Zoroastrianism. And so if you're interested at all in the Magi, at the end of this video, I'll put a link to this morning's video. I think I know you'll love it, especially if you like Circe, Magi magic, right? So we left off in chapter 3. Circe saw a boat coming on the horizon. The boat comes and it's Glaukos, right? Her new crush. How fun was that? So he comes up and she's got her goddess vibe going. She's like, hail, mortal. And she wants to ride on his boat and just wades out and gets on and kind of with her demanding voice, doesn't realize it. It's kind of intimidating him a bit. She realizes, she sees the fear in his eyes, and it makes her again remember that chain of fear, Zeus and on down, and she doesn't want that. And so she kind of catches herself and adjusts accordingly. She tells him that Helios is her dad, scares him even worse. She talks, this is sweet, just a relationship that they're building. It like when, they brush arms against each other, right? She would drop something on the ground just so he'd go to pick it up at the same time and they would touch hands, and it's all new to her and she's enjoying it quite a bit. She says, I had stood beside my father's light. I had held 80s in my arms, and my bed was heaped with thick wool blankets woven by immortal hands. But it was not until that moment that I think I had ever been warm. Yes, I told him, I will be here. His name was Glaukos. I think that's a beautiful description of falling in love for the first time. That feeling, Madeline Miller just paints it so beautiful. I could feel it. It took me back to when I was a young man. She says, I love to watch him at his daily task, which he did with his hands. She's used to gods just, think it and it's done. And for instance, like here, she's talking about him mending nets, making a fire, cooking up the fish, where it's just something instantaneous for the gods. She's watching how he builds up the fire with the tinder and bigger sticks and moss and gets it going. And she's fascinated by it. Of course, it gets her thinking about Prometheus, right? And she goes on to tell him, oh, I met Prometheus, right? Again, scared the hell out of him. He's all, how old are you? And she could see him pulling away. It was too much for his mind. So she goes, I'm just joking, right? I don't know Prometheus. Let's see here. What else stuck out to me? I did a little highlighting here of what and make sure you guys go to the comments and tell me what sticks out to you. I love it when you guys do that. And like Catherine, she always finds beautiful, rich writings in here that maybe I had missed. So read each other's comments too. I love the interaction of the book club. Make sure you always go to the comments. It means the world to me. I love the time we spend together, which is another thing. I'm kind of skipping ahead here, but she remember went to her grandmother because Glauco said, I can't come back. The fish counts down. Dad punched him in the face. He's got a bruise. He's mad. I'm never coming back. Everything's falling apart. She says, well, I'll help you. He goes, you already told me you don't have no power. And he just sailed off. That kind of broke my heart, because isn't that kind of the story of Circe's life? She gives so much love. She just completely opens her heart, and she doesn't receive the same love back. He again, it's that same dynamic. She loves more than she's being loved. I thought that was so sad. She runs to her grandma's halls, makes a deal with her. He comes back, and he's telling her that the fish were actually jumping into the boat. He didn't even have to use his nets, right? Now he's back because she did something for him. He says, I'll keep a fire burning. Here's what I was trying to point out. I will keep a fire burning, he said, for you always, right? To the goddess. She said, I'd rather you keep me a chair so I may come and speak to you. Beautiful on so many levels, right? She doesn't want anything. She just likes the relationship. Why can't she find someone else like that? And wouldn't it be beautiful to find a God like that? Doesn't want you to keep a fire burning, doesn't want your worship, doesn't want your sacrifice, just wants to be with you. Keep a chair for me so I can come speak to you. Instead of a God you're always begging out, where are you? Why don't you care? Wants to spend time with you. What a beautiful goddess that is. That hit me. Oh, let's see what else stuck out to me. Oh, so she's fallen in love. She realizes he's mortal and he will die. So she goes to her father and asks, is there any way to make a mortal a god? He says, it's not possible. He says, unless it's in their stars already, not even I can change the law of the fates. She runs to her grandma, saying the same thing, but she's so upset now. She's nearly choking about how he's going to die. She's so upset. So now she's getting passionate. She's all, I love him. I'll do anything. And her grandma goes, you know how many nymphs have come to me with the same request? She says, I don't care about those nymphs. They were not Helios's daughter, raised on stories of breaking the world. Is there not some, I don't know the word, some device, some bargain with the fates, some trick, some pharmaca? It was the word Hades had used when he spoke of herbs with wondrous powers sprung from the fallen blood of gods. Now the sea snake at my grandmother's neck uncoiled and flickered its black tongue from its arrow mouth. Her voice was low and angry. You dare speak of that? The sudden change surprised me. Speak of what? But she was rising, her full height unfurling before me. Child, I have done as much for you as may be done, and there is no more. Go from here and let me never hear you speak of that wickedness again. My head was churning, my mouth sharp as though I had drunk raw wine. I walked back through the couches, the chairs, past the skirts of whispering, smirking naiads. She thinks just because she is daughter of the sun, she may uproot the world to please herself. I was too wild to feel any shame. It was true. I would not just uproot the world, but tear it, burn it, do any evil I could to keep Glaukos by my side. But what stayed most in my mind was the look on my grandmother's face. When I said the word pharmaca, it was not a look I knew well among the gods. It was fear. What could make a god afraid? I knew the answer to that. A power greater than their own. And now she goes, dresses seductively, puts on her bracelets, and starts just coaxing information out of the gods, flattering them. Oh, what a great warrior you are. Tell me where the most blood was spilt with the war of the Titans and the Olympians, because she knows that's where the flowers grow for the most powerful pharmaca. So powerful. I drew those stories from them. I learned the names of those many places that had been sown with the god's blood and where those places were. And at last I heard of one not far from Glaukos shore. Oh, exciting, right? She means business now. She's getting a little fed up. She don't like the way things are run. She's tired of the suffering and the death. And she will do anything to make a change. I like that. All right, guys, I love you. Check out this video. This is my video from this morning. Should be up here already. Click on that. It's about Magi magic. You might like it. Love you.